if you're one of the players that plays Fortnite here and there and like, you know, you improve very slowly, this video is going to guaranteed improve your solo cash card placements, because as far as I know, this information has never been shown on YouTube anywhere. And I'm sure after watching a few minutes of this video, you'll understand exactly why it's going to be so helpful. Pay attention, guys. It's the only way you're going to learn something. If you're interested in attending these sessions live, check out the link in the description. This is part of Destiny's Jesus Solo Superstars program, where myself and a bunch of other pro coaches will be hosting sessions there regularly. You do not appreciate how deep this game goes and what the pros are thinking when they're playing the game. Pay attention to this video and you will learn exactly what that is. When to stop looting so that you're not looking for something specific. And what I mean by that is if you're only looking for one upgrade, it's a very inefficient way to loot, like your loadout. When you start the game, you have nothing, right? And like your mats here or whatever. And when you have nothing, opening a chest is really efficient because you have a lot of empty spots to fill. AR shoddy, double heals, mobility. Agreed? Like, let's say you have green or blue AR, green or blue shotgun, right? Even gray is fine, doesn't really matter. Really good heals, like you have sprites and 3 bigs, right? Like you're solid. And then you have a blade. Okay. This is interesting. There's really some factors that you have to look into to decide whether you should continue looting for this. Okay, so the first factor, which is obvious, is how full is your loot? Because if you're just looting for a mask only, understand that the efficiency of the chest that you're opening is not as good as compared to if you're missing something else. For example, if your heals are not full, right? Let's say your heals were 2 splashes and 2 bigs. Then looting is good because you have the chance to upgrade this and find this. It's kind of like rolling a dice, but in this case, rolling a dice and hitting 4, 5, or 6 on the dice wins, compared to if this was full, only 6 wins. Okay, let's say first zone pulls here and you landed here. Okay, you loot and then second zone shows. It shows right here. Where should I position in a stacked game, somewhat stacked game? Most ideally, if I can get there. I genuinely just think that center is best. And the reason why center is best compared to, right, if zone pulled like this, like if zone pulls like this into a corner or like into an extreme, right? Let's say it pulls into the corner and then second zone pulls into the corner again. If possible, you want to get as deep as possible into this area, right? Because it's going to be likely to pull again into that corner. But as soon as it stops pulling into the corner and it pulls something like this, right? You see this zone? Then the next best positioning is just center. Let's look at different resources about how I think about the game. Let's list it out, right? Surge. Now, understand something. This is not applicable to every game. Positioning. Mats. Shields. Mobility. But let's say I have really good shields, really good mats, and I have the blade, right? I have the blade. Do you see how upgrading from the blade to like mask is not as good in certain situations than upgrading your positioning? Let's stop looting because I capped out basically everything except my mobility. Like I have blade, and let's start going center. Like you use time to solve these problems. Some games just don't have surge. You can identify which games those are. Then this doesn't apply. Right? But you do not want any of these under any circumstance to go dangerously low. Think about it, right? We're in 4th zone. Imagine this, okay? You have mask, you have center, but for some reason you're god awful at the game and you keep just getting tagged. Okay, shields is dangerously low. You're 200 HP, but you have no extra shields and your mats is decent. You're not in a good position. Shields is one of those things that's really weird and awkward to fix. Because getting a refresh while you're lacking HP is paradoxical. It's weird. Like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna go take a fight in the mid game in 4th zone when I'm lacking HP. You see? Mats is easier to solve with the refresh. Like, but shields, that's why it's highest priority. You cannot lack. Now, let's say we're in a rush. Okay, let me show you this. Let's say I have decent shield, not the best, right? Because for some reason my split drop doesn't give me that much shield. Mats is really high. Mobility is really high. I have mask, right? And I have positioning like this, right? And like surge doesn't apply. Should I go to zone? Yeah, I can do that. But what's the fastest way? Like, let's say my loadout's like this, right? And I have empty slot, 3 bigs, right? Maybe I have medkits. By the way, for the record, I genuinely believe holding medkits early is not that good, unless you plan on tanking first zone. right? Like, it would be better to hold 3 bigs and sprites, because sprites doubles as shields and whites. So if you have a white issue, then you can hold sprites or chug splashes. It solves that problem, right? So notice the fastest way to fill an empty slot. Let's say it's literally empty, like you don't have medkits either. You have 3 bigs, you have mask, you have gun, right? Fastest way to fill this empty slot, the most tempo, time efficient way, is to pick up sprites. Why? Because they come in 3s, filling the slot instantly. You just kill it. Compared to looting 3 bigs, which is really hard to do, or looting 6 splashes, which is really hard to do. 6 minis is doable, 3 medkits is doable, but 6 minis and 3 medkits are not the best type of heals, because the downside of holding 3 bigs and 6 minis is you have no whites, and downside of holding 3 bigs and 3 medkits is you have weak shields. Like 150 shields is not good, but you can find sprites. What do I need to fix? What am I lacking out of these 4 usually, sometimes 5, to make sure my game is solid? For the record, this right here, there's 2 types. Okay, so there's stacked and unstacked. Stacked games, I think center is usually best. Sometimes dead side, right? Sometimes dead side if it's like the zones that I mentioned earlier where it keeps pulling into a corner or it keeps pulling to north, then you would try to do your best to go as deep as possible because you can predict that the zone's going to pull there. And then unstacked is just hide. It's okay to be edge. The reason why in unstacked it's okay to be the edge is because the game is unstacked, which means it's really easy to move around the map because there's no one holding you. In stacked games, if you miss position, it's really awkward because people are going to be holding you. I'm going to stop screen share here and I'll show you a really good example of someone messing up positioning and it literally costing him, just that one mistake, costing him 40 builds. Okay, he was here, right? Zone pulled, edge. Okay, what should he do here? What should he do here to... Okay, actually, wait, pause. Let's backtrack. We're reevaluating this. I'm just going to do it fast because you guys have got it. Okay, heals are good. Mats are good. Right? Mobility is good. Positioning, as of right now. Yeah, what should he do to fix it? And when? Insta-rotate. Okay, why insta-rotate? Why shouldn't he wait? It's free. Agreed. Yeah, he's looking towards center and it's free. Okay, he moves. Okay. What do you guys think about this position? What do you think about this position? Good, bad? 6 or 7? Like, yes. Thank you, Disc. Thank you. It's like, who's stopping him from going deeper? I don't know. Like, I'm not kidding. This is so important. We look forward, we see nobody, we see a better position, and we chose to stop here based off what? Based off feeling. I just feel like this is better. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just boxing here. Like, it just, like, you know? Why? Like, but we can look. Especially after you box, you can look. This is really important. Like, I'm going to show you the effect of what happened based off this small misstep. Okay? So, our player boxed here, and then next zone pulled. Where, there's 2 cases. This is where the player decided to box. What I was looking for is the continuation to box more center. Okay? So, this is where he is right now. This is where I wanted him to be. Zone pulls. Do you see how this position allows the player to go deeper and do it again? But it's much harder to do that from the position back here because it's just way longer. Like, if you try it now, and even if you insta-rotate, a lot of people are going to come and cluster up and just going to stop your rotate. But if you were positioned here, as we suggested, this movement to fix your center rotate, it's just easier. You're like 1 step ahead of the game. You're always trying to reposition for center. And the keyword is, if possible. Yeah, now he only has time to go edge zone. Exactly. Talk to yourself. But zone's about to pull. Okay, I'm gonna mute this. Zone's about to pull. Right? And look. It's just difficult. Strong, guys. Guys, listen to me. You have no reason not to win the first game. Agree, disagree. Like, you can do it. I promise you. You know why you can do it? Most of it is decision making. Most of it. It is so easy if you just know what to do. And I'm going to tell you what to do here. Okay? Like, people, like coaches or retired players, they come back. They're obviously washed, right? Like, because they haven't played for a year plus. Like, maybe their mechanics is decent. Maybe their aim's decent, whatever. But, like, it's not good. Yet, I can come back and win the first game. All the time. And I haven't played this season once, like, this season. Except for, like, creative. Sometimes. But my point is I barely play. Okay, so first things first. Yeah, first things first. This is really important. I'm gonna analyze this entire game like to its entirety. So you jump here for masked. Okay, do you guys see this? Mentox jumped here for masked meadows. What do we think about this jump? Too early, too late, or perfect? Yep. Too late. It's a little forgivable in this case. But again, if we're trying to play perfect, literally game one, like we're not even trying to die or spawn. Literally game one, we're going to win the game. 100%. Or second worst case scenario. Like that's the confidence I want you guys to have because it is possible. Okay. That means fixing our glide. Okay. So what are the 3 important things for glide? Like to have the perfect glide? When you jump. It needs to be mastered, right? So someone said 60-degree rule. Yeah, you can use that to approximate. It's not that simple, but you can use that to simplify it because it can be complicated. Like right here, in this case, I would probably jump around here. If you see my mouse. Around here is good. Okay. How you dive, where you open on marker. Okay, so how you dive should be as straight line as possible. And let's say, for example, this is the ping for the drop spot or the drop map, right? And this is where it opens, right? Like this is where it auto deploys. And this is the bus. A lot of people will try to do it too perfect and then accidentally undershoot and then open here and then be under, right? Like they won't, you know, it'll be awkward from there because you undershot it, right? Like if you had to bias yourself one way to make sure you land it, understand that slightly overshooting it is good because you can correct, you always can correct down, but you cannot correct like this because then you have to pull your glider, which is slow. Does that make sense? Like, let's say this is the most optimal straight line dive, right? I want you to aim for this because you can correct it. Give yourself some leeway. There's no human being that's going to do this perfectly every single time. Give yourself some leeway. And then when you hit this on the mini map where you have the arrow and the ping, you look straight down and it'll auto deploy. Like it's basically the same thing, but always slightly overshoot and correct because undershooting is not fixable. Make sense? Cool. And then where you open on marker is simple. Understand sometimes, and you have to watch train for this. If this is your drop map, let's say this is the POI, this is the drop map right here, right? Like this, but like it's all even terrain. Understand if it's even terrain, you can pretty much draw lines like this. And if you're jumping off the bus like here, you can do this, even though it's not a spot on the drop map, because it's even terrain. Like if this is the same, terrain as this, you can open here. It'll be fine. Okay, so fair enough. We'll play from here. My only issue, to some degree, is as you're coming in here, I would do a quick scout to try to get an idea of number 1, how many people are at your drop, and number 2, where they are in your drop, because it's really good to know all of those things. I personally would loot until you find what and leave. Thoughts? What am I looking for? What am I missing? Mask. Yep. So it's still good to loot, but notice I have fishing rod. Okay. So if I find mask, what am I dropping for it? Let's say the next thing I find is mask. What am I dropping for it? Minis. And doing what after? As soon as I find that mask, what am I doing? Fishing, yeah. I mean, maybe I can collect some metal here. So you should be farming metal as you go. I'm pretty sure this is metal. You should be hitting this as much as you can as you go and try to collect as much as you can safely. And then you need to get the hell out of here. Metal needs to be done at the same time. So all those trucks and stuff like needs to be hit. Okay, why am I leaving, by the way? Why am I leaving? Like, why am I fishing somewhere else? So you should leave at 40 AR. You can find more chests elsewhere. So you don't have to fight. Yeah, exactly. Okay, found mask. Jeez. Go fish. 6-year fish, call it a day. I'm down to loot. These chests are really close, right? So I'm down to loot these. Okay, I'm down to hold 6 minis as well. But you need to get the hell out of here. Good. Good play. Pretty early game, so you don't need to check that bush. Fine, whatever. Now I'm thinking 2 things. What are the 2 problems I need to solve? I need to fish for 3 shellfish, then drop the rod. Agreed. Sometimes I see people do this where they get 3 shieldfish, replace minis, and then keep the rod. No, don't do that. It's just crazy. Like just max out your heals, drop the rod. Cause like some people see the rod as like infinite heals. No, it's very conditional, extremely conditional infinite heals. You need to be by water. You need to have the positioning to be by water. Like, it's just awkward. Like, I wouldn't do that at all. Okay, you're fishing now. That's cool. I would probably do it the other order. Like, I would. Also, you can when you drop the rod, remember where it is, so that if you accidentally get beamed or whatever, you can come back. Yep, 6 shieldfish is fine. I'm happy with this. Cool. Yeah, good play. This game's dying out. Metal, I'm actually also okay with you being 552. The only thing I would probably do differently is just make this a fake box. Okay. No problem. You should be hitting all of these things. I'm pretty sure there's decent metal. They add up, guys. They really do add up. All of these things add up. This is probably like 30, 40 metal here. Okay, here's another idea. What do you guys think about masking in mid-game to go somewhere faster? Good idea, bad idea, safe. Okay, I see a bunch of mixed answers. I think the correct answer is bad. Why is it bad? And the answer isn't saving it, although that is also a benefit. I'm worried about something else. Yeah, draws attention. Awareness. Yeah, awareness. TP into someone. Good. Yeah, that's it. That's it. TP into someone. By accident. And like, you might be like, I know where I'm TPing. You just TP'd from here, right? You TP'd from here to there. You know where you're TPing, like, you only can see this area, but how do you know someone's, like, not watching it, you know? So I wouldn't recommend it. Unironically, it's safer to walk. Why? Because when you're walking, you're slowly, inch by inch, exploring and having full awareness of where you're headed. So that if you see somebody, they're going to be at armed, like, really good distance because you just, like, slowly ran into them. And then you can build. But when you mask, you are now teleported into a very, I'm going to use this terminology, like dark. Like it's dark. You don't know what's happening around you because it's a completely new area. You haven't explored it inch by inch. And so then it's scary because people can be there. It's worth doing if you're disengaging. It's worth doing if you're rotating, especially in moving because no one else is really, everyone's doing it. So you're safe, right? So I wouldn't do it. Bush hide. Good. Strong early game, strong mid game. Mentox basically did everything we said. And he's also not hyper prioritizing center because it doesn't really matter. Good. Yeah, I'm good. I was just good. I'm very happy with this. He's also prioritizing. You can see in an unstacked game, he's prioritizing not getting keyed over getting 300 metal because the 300 metal is really hard to access. Like if I had a gas station right in front of me and I look around, no one's there. Yeah, fine, I'll get it. But like this 300 metal is actually really hard to find. So I'm not going to bother. I'm also happy you weren't wasting time going back to fish one more shieldfish to fix your HP. Why? Because that takes a lot of time. And you have more important problems to fix. Like your positioning and your, you know? So it's good. Happy. This is winnable game right here. Yep. And I don't actually think you need... You probably don't need a refresh to do it. I'm down to go in a little bit deeper. You could also opt to stay, but I'm down to go deeper. The only thing I'm not a fan of is I think you could scout a little bit more before you take that move. Like you should do a full 360 look up everywhere. That's probably the only difference I would do. I would refarm your wood to max. Good. And right now you're in a decent spot. You're pretty close. You're pretty close to center. Like you got away from that edge and you're just gonna find a bush again. That's scary. I would shoot. Alright, watch for that mistake. Also, what gun should the our friend here have out? Okay. Do you let's change the AR to gray. Right? The color of the AR to gray. Does the answer change? Yeah, I think no. The reason why you have AR is because I'm not trying to shoot someone because I don't really need anything. Yeah, 300 metal, whatever, but I don't need that either, right? I'm not trying to shoot someone close range where it's actually danger right? It has some risk to it. I'm trying to beam them to dissuade them from coming closer at a medium distance so that I could run the opposite direction after I beam them. So AR was correct, especially in this case because you have purple. Okay. Cool. Again, so far, no major mistakes by Mentox. At all. Insta rotate. I would do a little bit more exploring. There's small mistakes you're making. What mistake has Mentox made here, guys? Wonder if someone's gonna spot it. Yep. Farm this, farm this, farm this. You can probably get 400 metal from all of this. I would keep looking behind you because no one's gonna really rotate from here to here. I would look around, but I would absolutely farm this, and I would be a little bit scared of this bush ARing you. So then I would hide, like, you know, I would farm this sitting here, farm this sitting behind this stuff, and you'll be good. 400 metal right here. You need to eat this, right? And I would just watch out because we're paused here that traffic runs into us. Pausing here is kind of like pausing on a highway when everyone else is going 100 kilometers an hour. This is scary. Why is this scarier, guys? Bushes, yeah. I would check both. Just pump both, then do what you're doing. You need to check the bush. I don't care. Oh, getting AR'd from that bush is just game over. Like, good insta rotate. I would look a lot more. Good. Mask from here. Perfect. Mentox is playing so far a perfect game. I would look up the hill before you farm that. But again, everything I'm saying is just minute details. 9 masks left. I think if you save like 15 masks, guys, you honestly need all of them. Like, just don't waste them in mid game. Only use them when necessary. Do not use them in mid game to go somewhere faster for the reasons I mentioned before. I would lean a little bit to the south like you are, like you're doing it, because south side is fully dead. Cool. Yep, scouting before you go. Aha. Oh my god, dude. You dodged. I'm pretty sure you dodged a bullet. Crazy. Okay, you're good, you're good, you're good. 2x1. Guys, thoughts? Is this needed? Is this needed? No, it's not. It's not. I know it's a minute detail, but it's a habit and you need to kill it. Because what? Mentox, what does this do for you? Give me one benefit. Because I can't possibly tell you what you can possibly see that you need to see by going up one tile that you couldn't see from down here. Like this way? Like because of the rock? Like no, not really. Zone's not gonna pull there. It's a whole different story if you're getting keyed, but we're not getting keyed here. So watch out for that. Personally, this argument, like I personally would wait. I would wait here. I wouldn't go frontside on 8. And the reason why you don't go frontside on 8 so early is because other people are going to do that. And then what ends up happening is before zone even starts to move, because the specific thing about 8 is it's all the way in storm, all of zone for 8, but it's not a moving, right? So you go here where other people will do, and then this area will just get super stacked. I personally think you just wait. Zone starts to expose a little bit, right? It starts to expose a little bit. Then you go and you do that checkpoint, and then you go again. It's not the worst thing in the world, but just be careful. Like use a little bit of nuance here to make sure you're safe. In this case, you're actually fine. Good refarm. Very happy with how you're playing. Perfect. Good. No extra mats wasted. Happy. You're even using wood, Mentox. Intermediary boxes. Like in those checkpoints. This is a free shot. Be careful of this angle. Because look. I'm going to show you something. You can't see him, but he can see you. I know I'm being cringe. Don't care. You have no whites. If he hits you for 150, your game is ruined. Right? Just be careful. See that? Right? So like this angle is very common. Like when you shoot out, like you can see down here, so you're not that worried. Maybe you can worry about this guy. Or a better fix, open this and sit back to the wall. Because he can't see you back to the wall. Right? I'm gonna show you something. Let's say I have a box, but there's an opening, like a window. Can I draw, man? Oh my god. Okay. Let's say there's a window. Okay. I'm standing here. Someone can shoot me from a weird angle. Because look at what I'm exposed to compared to here. It's a much thinner line. Right, so this guy can't see me anymore. So just stand at the back of your box, it just fixes it. Take a look at first stone pull because it will matter. And like you're going into this game knowing that it's probably stacked. Okay, so cool. Silex is landing same spot. Pulls off probably. Yep. Because there's a lot of people. I don't mind this play at all. This play is decent. It's a nice pull-off spot, but... you found a shotgun already. Yeah, great. Look at his loadout. Holy hell. Yeah, these are the things... I'm so happy, Silex. Good job. Great decision. It's a good pull-off spot. Yeah, big pop is good, because it empties the slot, and you only had one big anyways. What are we looking for, guys? We have 2 problems that I see, and then I'm happy. 2 problem. Metal, Surge. Surge is the 3rd one. I haven't thought about that. You're right. No mobility. Mobility, yeah. Yeah, metal and mobility. Metal's in front of us. However, I would do a little bit of a check. Like, you could farm... you go up here. Go up here and look on the other side of the POI before you start farming. Because you just arrived here and you haven't done a deep scout. Like, I would just get up here, look quickly, 2 seconds, and then go back down to farm. Look over here as well. People make this mistake with POIs all the time. Right? Just like look past the POI opposite the side you came and just look. It'll be good. Found mobility. It's not a mask. You know? So then here, should you farm metal or open more chests? Thoughts, guys? Okay, let's assume there's no more chests in this area. Like he looted everything. So farm the metal here or keep looting for more chests. Like go elsewhere. Yeah, no need to force your mask. I agree with that. Yeah. You don't force because you have a decent mobility item. Potential surge there. Yeah, be careful because yeah, it is awkward to build up here. I think in checkpoints. Okay, here's an issue, dude. Okay, look. This is a really, really, really important thing that I'm gonna mention. Okay. Think about it. You came into this gas station, kind of aware of what's going on. Right? Like you looked, like you kind of looked whatever. Then you spent a minute farming here. Okay? Do you agree that the situation around you in your environment could have changed? Meaning when you walk out of this gas station, you walk out blind, you don't check left. Look. I don't believe you look as if the situation could have changed, which you see? Look. If someone's coming in right now, you know, poor, like, unfortunate timing, you're getting hit and you would lose. Like, it's such an important mistake to avoid because look how much of a hit it does to your heals and it makes your heals really awkward. You lose a ton of efficiency. Yeah, but footsteps isn't enough. I'm not kidding. Look, like, you know how paranoid I am with bushes? Like, wait till you see how paranoid I am with this shit. Like, you just went in, farmed for a bunch. And you don't look everywhere. When you get up here, I would look everywhere. Every 3 or 4 pieces, I would do another 360. 360. Like someone arriving on this hill is enough to lose HP. You don't check west ever. It's very scary. And then here, when you're farming this way, notice how you can see west in your background. But you, like, which direction am I not looking when I do this? Back. Yeah. What can we do to fix that? Because we obviously don't have eyes in the back of our head. How can I solve that? Yeah. Build wood. Yeah. That's right. You can even build brick because you're a cap brick. Right? But it doesn't matter. That's a small thing. My point is you should be scouting. This is okay to go for. Right? Because you need surge. The only problem I might have is your ammo. So watch out for that. Yeah, ammo needs to be considered. 89 people, dude. We spammed their walls. Like, okay. I'm not happy with 44 bullets. I would continue to loot. Yeah, you see, this now it's problematic. This is very important. Luckily we have big. Just pay attention to all those angles. Like, we need to be terrified. This is just, by the way, this is just a high elo lobby in round 1, correct, Silex? High lobby round 1. Okay, go play like this in a pro lobby. I promise you your game's over. Like, you know, like this is what I'm worried about. Like, I'll show you a really good example. When you went up top to farm, right? After you farmed inside the gas station, what do? We came out, right? We came out. We tagged someone, so we know someone's in this direction. How in the world are you so confident after you farm this? Okay, actually, you are looking at him. Fair enough. But like, I don't know. Like, he could just turn around and hit you. Okay, like when you turn around, how do we know he's not looking at us right now? Like, we know he's in this direction. We just don't know. Right? We know he was here 5 seconds ago. He could still be looking at us. So we're not scared enough. We are not paranoid enough at all. Okay, fair enough. I wonder if this will be an issue. Because every unnecessary tag that you take in the mid game is just less heals for you in the end game, and the whole purpose of mid game is to transition into the end game with all pillars as high as possible. So that's Surge, obviously includes your mats and shields. And if you are a really good mid game player, and you'll see someone like Seti being a really solid mid game player in solos and trios, obviously, they will start moving zones with the highest possible pillars because they're just good at it. That means avoiding damage as well. A little worried about that bush. I don't know the context of what happened here, so. Okay, we're missing only mats right here. Good play to get Surge. Okay, so I see 2 problems. I wish I could see the, you know, mat distribution. I think there's a bind for this, maybe. There we go. Okay, so he just needs to solve wood. What's the problem I see, guys? Minis, yeah, ammo, exactly. What can we do to fix that? In this exact positioning. Loot where? Loot where? Go here. Yeah, exactly. There's ammo boxes here, guaranteed. I mean, you know, right? You need to solve this. Now, there's another option, which is go towards zone. If this number was not stacked, like this was a mid-stack game, like Surge wasn't a problem, I would just go zone. Our ammo is cooked. GG. G, guys. I do believe it's correct to go POI, but then I also believe you just save early. Oh, good fix. It's not, you know, I'd prefer an AR, no doubt. It's not, you know, it's not better than 200 AR, but it's a fast solution, right? Time-wise, it's a good fix. Good job. I like how you're scouting here. Need to look back more here. You haven't looked back in like 10 seconds. You notice that? We don't shoot the bush. Yeah, good damage. You're doing good. I love the fact that you picked up SMG. This SMG is much easier to use too. Yeah, you're looking. You may... Okay, so now we're 300 above. I would actually mask now. You've collected the surge that you can. People are aware now. I would mask now. Okay. Yep. Like this could have been predicted. 30 seconds ago, you would have 30 seconds of movement towards center. Okay, do we need to get more surge? Yes or no? Yeah, do you think we should get it in the middle of the rotate? Or do you think we need to get in first and then look for tags after? What do you think? I feel like you guys are all wrong. Surge, when you're boxed up, is very predictable. Like, people see your box, right? If you can tag people and try to tag them in a way where you're not griefing your own rotate, but if you can tag people in mid-rotate, I feel like hide in this bush, for example, go for tags and then go forward. It's just way more time-efficient way to get Surge. And you guys agree, right? Surge is going to continue to be a problem later as well. I'm not saying grief your rotate. Think of Surge as a side mission while you're doing this rotate. Like, you should... Yes, obviously rotate needs to happen, but you need to get tags on the way. That's my opinion here. You're looking for it. Not checking this bush is a little bit sketch. That's unfortunate. Okay. So now we're in a position where our heals suck and we're low mats and we're good surge. So I wouldn't look for a refresh now, but if I see an opportunity, I should take it because it solves everything. This game is so stacked. Okay. I think this is a little bit scary. I would place a wall here. This game is so stacked that Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, coach has a, you know, different type of spidey sense. Yeah, we're cooked. We need a refresh. And we cannot, you need to go. You need to get this. You need to get this. You need to go forward. Whatever's left over here, you need to get. I would stop shooting him and mask on this box and replace this wall. Because getting more surge is not your priority. We're lacking something else on our pillars. We're here and here. Mats is half. Shields is god low, right? Surge is good. Surge is decent. Mobility is good. Right? We need to solve this. This is the... Having no shield in solos is the worst feeling ever. You need to mask on that loot. Oh dear. I think it should be obvious to you as well that there is more loot in here. Do you notice when I drone freed over here, the first thing I did is look deeper? How do I know there's more loot? Because half the loot was inside the wall, right? If you can get these minis, it changes your game a lot. You can drop your pistol as well because you found the air. But whatever, you know, you don't end up seeing it, it's okay. So we still have a shield issue. So I'm looking for spare loot. Now here's the thing. In these surge lobbies, oftentimes a lot of people will die for obvious reasons. It's stacked. Surge lobby. So there's gonna be a bunch of spare loot everywhere. You need to keep your eyes open for that. So I'd take a... Nice. Need to go in one more. Yeah. I was thinking surge or service wave was potentially gonna happen, but you defended well. I would probably do an earlier mask to get up here. You probably just have to spend a lot of masks here. Okay, what's the weakness of our loadout, guys? What's the most glaring problem about our loadout? Shield. What does that mean in terms of how we should play or how we should spend our mats? What, like, if X happens, we're screwed. What is X? Like, what are we trying to avoid at all costs? We cannot, under any circumstance, get hit. If we get hit, we are now in that absolute horrible spot where we have to find a refresh while we're low HP. I hate that. You hate it too. Okay? It's crazy paradox. We don't want to be there ever. So, which is why those minis are so important. Absolutely sucks. I'm absolutely thinking of like a refresh while I'm doing this rotate. Right? Not surge, because our surge is really high, but we're thinking refresh. Yep. Love it, love it. Yep, good play. Amazing. Happy. It's good. Unfortunately for us, and this is very common in stack lobbies, he has no shield. We're going to need to do it again. At least it fixes our mats in a good way. Okay, that mask is a little bit scary. Watch your back. I would probably put a high wall behind you. Yep, good job. Careful resetting that wall. When you reset that wall, it's sitting at like 10, 20, 30 HP. And you start reloading after you reset. It should be reset, cone, flip, hold for 2-3 seconds, then reload. Okay. Still glaring problem. Yep. And you understand it, and I can tell you understand it because you're going to you're trying to fix it. So right now, if you redraw everything, right, your mats are good, especially for this type of lobby. Because look at the average mat count of the lobby, right? Look, people are very scuffed. You have, I would say, about average in terms of your mat count. Okay, probably above average. Okay, so this is mats, shields. Shields is god awful, right? Mobility is good. Surge is really good. And positioning, you know, it's like whatever, right? Like you're where you need to be. Okay, because after 7th, 8th starts happening, your positioning really doesn't matter that much. It's like stops becoming relevant. But yeah, you need to solve this still. So and you understand that, and that's why you're trying to fix it. And it's still the case that we absolutely, under any circumstance, cannot get hit. So I would invest more of what we have, because we have strong mats, to make sure you're being safe when you're going for stuff like this. Like this guy, if he's a psycho. And I know this is like a niche case, but again, I'm being careful. He jumps up here and starts fighting you. Does, you know, like, that's what I'm worried about. Good mask. Again, looking for that kill. Or again, spare loot. Because a lot of times when people kill like this, you need to go and check it after he leaves. Because they often leave what? Minis behind. This guy, everyone's god-awful in terms of loot. I would still check it though, because like, see, there's wood left over. Okay, that's very, very scary. What's the mistake, guys? What do we do that is extremely scary that I'm worried about? Yeah, you didn't box on that tile. Yeah. I'm down. Like, the move you made, Silex, is good. I love it. Because you can pick up extra wood after you scare him off. Because once this guy loots it, he's going to be very incentivized to leave it because he's done, right? So, if you're the second guy in, like, you can just box pressure him away. He leaves. Then you go check the loot for extra minis, extra wood. And even if it's just extra wood, it's beneficial to you. So, I'm happy. Right? But I would box here. You would box here. With the cone, and you're ready to cone flip in case this guy... Really well played. Good job. Still looking for that fix, which is the shields. Yep. Still looking. That guy's white, but he's like low ground. I'm not chasing that. Seems like a reasonable 2x1. Fine. I really hate the audio, huh? Okay. Aha. Okay. So, here's what I'm thinking in this moment. What should I be thinking in this moment? Obviously, we're thinking of our objective of trying to find that loot that fixes our shield issue. Because we're still under threat of getting tagged one more time and just ruining our game. Right? So, we're still looking for that. But there's one more thing I'm looking for or thinking about when I'm in this position here. Which is what? Height? Hell no. We have way too many problems to fix before height. He's in a box. He's fine. He doesn't need to worry about that. Look, okay, let me ask you this, guys. Is he center or edge on this moving? He's edge, which means if you're edge in a moving, especially like this, an extreme edge, it means, because look, like he's dead edge, like he is on an edge. You need to be accounting for the worst case scenario pull, which is max pull. If it pulls like this, you need to be ready to go pre-planned. What I mean by that is, let's say it pulls this way. Don't you guys agree he has like 15 seconds to react to that? Because it pulls his way. If you're center, like Montu, what kind of name? Right? This guy. No way I'm pronouncing that, by the way. Let's say you're center like him, right? You are okay because there's not a lot of volatility in your zone pull. It can pull anywhere and you will have 5 to 7 seconds to react. But Silex has a scenario where he has 1 second to react, which is the max pull. Guess what happens? Max pull happens, he panics, runs out the wrong way, and dies. So, at this point in time, you should be thinking, where am I going to go for the worst case scenario pull? What am I going to do? You would answer it as, edit this and void mask like that. That's your answer. Or, I maybe the cone, but I'm a little worried about this guy. Like, pay attention around you, look on the floors above, and just answer the question, what am I going to do if worst case scenario pull happens? Because if the worst case scenario pull doesn't happen and it pulls like here or here or here, right? You have time to answer that. You actually have more time to solve that. So it's okay. But you do not have time to solve the worst case scenario pull, which is what happens. And then we get griefed because we panic. We tried to make a very important decision, which is basically which wall, how should I exit this? Instantly, which leads to this mistake. And he knows it too. You know? Which is why we died.